Welcome to the KPOJ Morning Podcast with Carl Wolfson and Christine Alexander. Listen live weekday mornings from 6 to 9 on AM 620 KPOJ.
And right now, Carla Axtman is with us, and after Carla, I want to get to the queue of calls to wish Christine the best. Carla Axtman, of course, we know from BlueOregon.com, a wonderful blogger. In fact, she was Netroots outreach director for Jeff Merkley for Oregon during the successful campaign that Jeff waged in 2008. Carla Axtman is right now in Las Vegas for the Netroots Nation Conference. Carla, welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Carla.
It's so early in Las Vegas, I have to tell you.
But I bet it's hot nonetheless.
It is hot. I was outside just a few minutes ago, and I actually listened to the weather report while I was waiting to come on, and it's going to be 90 this weekend, and I think that they would love it if it would be 90 here, like any time in the 24-hour cycle. I don't think it's getting below like 106.
No, when we in the Southwest would call 90 a cold snap.
Is the phrase chill factor ever used?
We're referring it to, this is the Devil's Furnace here
yes.
in Las Vegas.
Yes.
Listen, Carla, before we get to it, I know I've been reading some blogs about disappointment with President Obama and the crankiness of all this, really, and I want you to get into that. But before we do that, I mentioned Jeff Merkley. I know he's going to speak at Netroots Nation. I want to just start with what a great progressive advocate he has become, and we knew he would become. It must be thrilling and a feather in Oregon's cap to have Jeff Merkley representing us, not only at this convention, but in the Senate.
Oh, Jeff Merkley is absolutely a rock star here. He'll be here a little bit later today, and I hear over and over again from attendees that know that I'm an Oregonian or know that I worked on Senator Merkley's campaign who are so excited that he's in the Senate and so thrilled with the work that Jeff's doing for Oregon and for the nation. He is an absolute star, and I'm personally, as an Oregonian and as someone who worked for him, so just bursting with pride that he's our guy, and he's so incredibly awesome.
Now, when you're with all these folks from across the nation, I believe there's about 2,000 there. Oregon does stand out, and I guess I'm bursting with pride too. But we say this regularly on the radio, that Oregon is a shining progressive example for other states.
Well, that's right, and it's very common for Oregon legislators and Oregon leaders to be invited to Netroots Nation Conference to speak about our state, about the policy work that we do in Oregon. Jefferson Smith, the state representative from Portland, was here yesterday. He gave a great panel discussion on moving progressive policy and issues at the state legislature level. He was here. You have Representative Smith on your show often.
Oh, we know Jefferson. He even has his own produced opening on the show.
and rightfully so.
Yeah, he produced it for us. Oh no, we love Jefferson.
Yeah,
he's fantastic, and he was in this packed group of this packed panel, absolutely bursting with people, and wanting to hear from Representative Smith about what we are doing in Oregon, this progressive policy that we've been doing in Oregon, not just currently, but what's happened in the past. Oregon has, as you guys I'm sure know, has been a state where progressive policy and cutting-edge policy has been pretty common. We have our bottle bill. We have our incredible land use system. We have the Votes for Women came early to the state of Oregon, and the Death with Dignity Act is also an Oregon creation.
And in the days of Martha Coakley, Scott Brown, and the tea baggers and all that, we passed 66 and 67. And what's amazing is the commitment to environmentalism in the state is really bipartisan as well. Hey, Carla Axtman is with us, BlueOregon.com. She's at the Netroots Nation Conference in Vegas. Here's what I want to know, Carla, and maybe our listeners too. We have had a lot of disappointment as progressives with this administration, and tell me if the reports I'm reading that it's palpable there. And in addition to that, we don't have much time left. What is the message? What are the Netroots folks saying about how we have to deal with this administration and move beyond it?
Well, it's to be honest, I think it's a little bit mixed. We had a wonderful keynote last evening that was a mix of folks who spoke to us about that frustration that we're feeling. Ed Schultz, the radio and MSNBC host, was here, and he was talking about how angry he is with President Obama and the capitulation that the Obama administration has with right-wing messaging and right-wing frames. We recently saw the USDA, the woman from the USDA that was let go because of a essentially made-up story from whole cloth from a right-wing media organization. And the fact that the Obama administration does very little to access progressive media.
They seem to have shut themselves off from it almost on purpose. And, I know Elizabeth Warren is going to be at this convention, Carla, and yesterday the president had a chance to say, I want her to head the Consumer Protection Bureau, and he didn't do it. He was wishy-washy about it. We know Tim Geithner doesn't like her. I mean, I wish, Christine said earlier, I wish they would throw us a bone at least going into an election cycle.
And I think people here, throwing the bone to continue the metaphor, people here are hungry for that stuff. They worked really hard to get President Obama elected. These are the people this is the base. These are the folks who went out and knocked on doors and made the calls and raised money. And they're very upset with the way that they've essentially been spurned by the Obama administration. So there's a lot of anger about that.
Carla, we got to run. I hope people will follow your blogging at blueoregon.com. Again, Carla Axtman with us at Netroots Nation in Vegas. And as disappointed as we've been, I mean, it's going to be a theme on this show from now to November 2nd. It's us or them. And
That's right.
Progressives will lead the parade. But we certainly don't want the Tea Partiers or the extreme right, which is now the Republican Party, to gain any more power than they should. Carla Axtman, thank you so much.
Thank you. And Christine, you'll be missed so much.
Thanks, Carla.
Thank you, Carla.
Thank you.
We look forward to talking to you more, Carla, as we move ahead towards the election. Thanks for joining us today.